Well, let's be honest, folks. The state of Indiana, better known as the Hoosier State, is without a doubt one of the most unusual and incredible states in the entire United States. And I say that not because I was born in Indiana. Heck, I'm a Texas boy, but I've lived here in the state of Indiana for over 50 years. And here's what I've learned about Indiana. Here in Indiana, a tenderloin better be as big as a hubcap, and that's the way we like it. We love our sweet corn sold by the side of the road. We love biscuits and gravy. And here in Indiana, Coke is called pop. That's what we call it. And we know what a Hoosier is in the state of Indiana when someone asks us. And when we drive in Indiana, we drive on the interstates and everybody says, watch out for deer. That's a standard terminology in Indiana. And when you talk about racing in the state of Indiana, we know that means the Indy 500, folks. And we also call it mellow yellow, just in case you were wondering. And here's something else to think about. Here in Indiana, we call the word Ohio a four-letter word. And bigger than that, we have something very special in Indiana. We have a state flower. And that state flower blooms all year long. One of the few states that can say that our state flower, well, the Latin term is Oranges trafficonus. That's right, the Oranges trafficonus is our state flower, and it blooms all year long. And you can ask any Hoosier driver about that in particular. Now, here in Indiana, we have a state game. Yes, the state game in Indiana is euchre. That's what we play, that's what we like. You ask anybody else what we play in Indiana, we play euchre. The state religion, however, is slightly different. Our state religion is basketball. Now, we have certain patron saints in the state of Indiana. You pray to that particular saint. You could pray to, well, St. Bobby Knight, or you could pray to St. Jean Cady, whichever the particular denomination you happen to be a part of. But basketball in this state is, in fact, a religion. Heck, you have the Hoosiers, you have the Purdue Boilermakers, and back in the 1970s, you had a guy named Larry Bird from Indiana State. Yep, we have basketball in our blood. But now we've got a different type of basketball that has become very, very big and very, very popular. It's the WNBA. I know some would say, no. Yes, it is. Didn't used to be popular. Nobody really cared about it. They played in facilities and 4,000 people. You get more to a high school game than you would a women's basketball game. But boy, have things changed in the last 24 months. Yep, WNBA suddenly got big when a little lady from, well, Iowa showed up, drafted by the Indiana Fever. Her name was Caitlin Clark. She came in and changed basketball in a way nobody's ever seen. A passer, kind of reminds me of the old Nate Archibald back in the NBA days. Yep, he was a great passer. There's others you could talk about. But she was fabulous, and she hit three-pointers like nobody else has ever seen. She was hitting three-pointers from half court nobody's ever seen. So she became a star, helped the Fever along to become really big. But the biggest thing that happened to women's basketball was the new collective bargaining agreement called the CBA. It finally got done, and the women are finally getting their just due. And here's the deal. Well, you've got women earning $1 million now, which they didn't before. The average salary in the NBA was right $76,000. Now the average salary is $500,000 with the new CBA. But the new CBA has created something very special. Teams are, well, players want to go where they want to go, play where they want to play. But here in Indiana, we have formed a team like, well, people are saying they're going to be the next champion, the 2026 champion of the WNBA, and maybe years beyond, who knows? And you know who's going to be on that team? Now think about this. The starting five start off with none other than Caitlin Clark. She's a phenom among phenoms. But you know who she's got working with her in the backcourt? Try Kelsey Mitchell, Speedbird. Man, she can fly. She moves around. She's like a skeeter on water. She's fast, opens things up. And then on one corner, Lexi Hull. Yep, blonde bomber. On the other corner, Cunningham. You got the two blonde bombers. In the middle, you got Caitlin Clark. And in the center, Alicia Boston. Those five ladies right now are saying to be the best in the WNBA, but every other player in the NBA who's not a free agent wants to come to Indiana. They all want to play in Indiana. Why? Well, let me tell you one of the reasons why. One, 39 of their 44 games this coming season is going to be played in NBA arenas, the big houses. 39 out of 44 games. And they're traveling style, folks. They got their own custom, fabulous, nice jet they fly on. Of course, everybody has that now because that's part of the deal in the CBA. But players want to come to Indiana because they got something else going on. Right now in downtown Indianapolis, they are building a 3-story palace. Take a look at this thing. It's 108,000 square feet. It's a huge facility. Basketball court inside. It's got every amenity you could possibly think of. I mean, the living room, the dining rooms, the saunas, the steam rooms, the game rooms. It's even got its own radio studio so they can do their own podcast if they want to. It's got everything catering just to the ladies. Not the guys, just the ladies get their own palace. That's why so many players are saying, hey, I want to come to Indiana. Because now Indiana is the state. Basketball, yep, we got it. And breaded tenderloins, of course we've got it. We got everything you could want. But the biggest thing we also have is the official state flower. As I said, it blooms all year long. The Oranges Trafficonis. It makes Indiana special. And it makes us all Hoosiers, even me. And now you know.